Good evening, infidels. That's my favorite saying from Ahmed, the terrorist. I love that guy.
So, Ahmed, if you're a terrorist, I would suppose you have some sort of specialty. Yes, I am the suicide bomber. So you're finished. What? You've done your job. No, I haven't. But you're dead. No, I'm not. I feel fine. But you're all bone. It's a flesh wound. Silence! I kill you!
Anyway, this video here, I know I haven't done a video in a while, but I watch a lot of news on YouTube. I know it's not live news. It's usually a day old, or it can be hours old. I'm looking at some right now. But I noticed that when they and I know that they have to do something to draw the people in. But I mean, they're making the headlines so falsive, so lying, that it's aggravating for me to even look at it. And I'll give you a couple examples. Right now, the biggest thing right now is Israel and the Palestinians. They're Hamas. They're going at it. And here's one of the headlines: "We are now seeing the conflict spread in Israel and Gaza." That's CBS News. 9/11 style bipartisan commission will investigate January 6th riots, so they call them. Associate Matt Gaetz pleads guilty to 6 felony charges, which I don't believe that's true. I know we have a new GOP leader, that Elise Stefanik, or whatever her name is. But a lot of the other news stuff is they make it look like Israel started some shit and Hamas is retaliating. If you send over 1,000 missiles into Chicago and retaliate, who's right or wrong? I mean, thousands of missiles. They sent thousands of missiles. The only thing that I like to know is who paid for 1,000. You imagine the cost of 1,000 missiles? Just like in Israel, they have the Iron Dome up. I'm sure that is some expensive. Number one, it's expensive equipment. But every one of those missiles that is coming in and the Iron Dome shoots something up to intercept, I'm sure. I mean, hold on. Got the motorcycles. Idiots coming by. Go to Indiana and buy yourself a box of skyrockets. Skyrockets. They would cost you probably about $50 or $60 for 10. Or like Roman candles. You remember you spin those things and it shoots 10. You can get like a 10 pack of those for $10 or 12 or 15. I don't know what they are. Right? But could you imagine getting a 6-pack of Patriot rockets or whatever those rockets are that go into the Iron Dome? How much a 6-pack of those are? But if you got 1,000 missiles coming in, could you imagine how many of those Iron Dome rockets went up? Well, we know who's paying for those, Israel. But Hamas is paying for 1,000 rockets to come all the way into Israel. Who's funding that? I mean, that's got to be a huge expense, and they've been shooting missiles every day. But the bottom line here is even like the CDC. Now they've changed their story. Hey, if you've been vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask anymore. How about it? Because the people said we're not wearing them anymore. So I mean, but the CDC says, I'm giving you permission. You don't need your mask. Throw it away. So what I'm wondering is, I wonder if they're ever going to get back to to where the news is the news, and not the news is bullcrap, full of lies, full of made up stuff to get me to watch their show. And I'm not saying Fox is perfect. They're not. They're far from it. Matter of fact, Fox has changed quite a bit, and Juan Williams is one of them. But anyway, that's one. That's another story. I don't even want to get into that. But a lot of the stories on here, it gets to where I don't want to watch the news. And there's some of the stuff is kind of important, like with this pipeline getting jacked and fuel shortages. Because I was in Ohio, man, when I started hearing about that stuff. And I talked to my sister, and she said that down by Nashville they are out of gas. And then I talked to a woman up in Ohio where I was at, and she said North Carolina's hit real bad, and they ain't got no gas, and where they are selling gas, it's like $10 a gallon. I don't know if that was true or not. I mean, that might just be. I don't go by what people say. I want to see it come off your lips, and then I'll know you said it. Because it's like saying, I have a source that says gas in Illinois right now is $15.35 a gallon. Sources told me. I don't know. I want to see a gas station attendant who's running the joint and see the sign, take a picture of that sign that says $15 an hour. $15 an hour, a gallon. Because I don't believe that stuff. I mean, they just talk too much stuff. But I wish the news would get back to where they're really doing news instead of let's do stuff for ratings. But look what CNN got for ratings. They're crap. I don't believe a word that comes out of CNN. MSNBC, Fox is getting there. I watch a lot of Newsmax and NTD and some of the others. It's a shame when you got to watch the news out of Britain, because at least they're not blowing the stuff up way like they are here. Like this one channel, every time I look at what they got in the news, it says Biden resigned. No, he didn't. Or it says, it's just all kinds of stupid stuff. And I mean, it irritates me when I see that headline because I know it's not true. Hamas continues rocket fire as Israel threatens ground attack. Then they show a picture of the rockets going over. And then people say, what's wrong with Israel? Why not? Throw some rockets into Chicago. Don't worry about what the government's going to do. I'll tell you what the people would do. We would go over there and kick your ass. Because this is crazy. And then the news plays up all these poor Palestinians. They're poor people. Yeah, they're poor Arabs. I understand. And they're getting ran out of their houses. But you know what? That rocket, a truck that's sitting there firing these rockets, because they're not from handhelds. These rockets are long distance rockets to go into Tel Aviv. So they're on trucks. So then you have people looking out their window. Oh, Abdul, look, there's a rocket truck shooting rockets. No. How about let's get the hell out of here? Or get a bunch of people together and start shooting those guys that are going to shoot those rockets. Because you might as well shoot them, because the missiles that are going to come back from Israel is going to take your house out too. So that's kind of dumb stuff. And don't go, what I'm saying is, because I'm expressing my opinion. Don't say, oh, shut up. That's my ham radio. But anyway, it's just, I wish that the news would be news, like it was at one time, to where it was an honest thing, to where they're held accountable for what they say. Now they're not. They're not held accountable. I remember that when you told somebody that you're ugly, they can sue you for that. But now it's beyond it. I could call you an F word. I can call you anything I want, and it's no big deal. The world was never like that. The world was more respectful. I mean, you're going to always have bullies. You're going to always have people who are stretching stuff and talking crap. You're going to always have that. But you know what? The media shouldn't be that way too. I mean, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. I wish they'd change it back to what it was. I mean, at least when you'd watch the news, it would almost be like whatever channel you watched, you knew you were going to get a fair shake on what they were talking about. They have a little bit of stretching in there, but you know what? It would be pretty well pretty well about what's right. Now you can't trust anything that they're saying. So I mean that's kind of a shame. Anyway, I just wanted to vent. I was a little worried about the fuel because I was driving. And what happens if I get low on diesel and I need, because it's not like your car, you put 20 gallons in, you're good for 500 miles. I put 20 gallons in, I'm good for 4 miles. Not 25 miles, because I get 5 or 6 miles per gallon. So I mean, it's not like, I got to put in 100 gallons to get home from Ohio. So, and the price of the diesel fuel, I seen one place in Indiana, it was $3.61 for diesel. $3.61. You know what that means? That means I'm going to make more money on my loads. But it also means I'm going to pay more money to my loads. But just think about that. Every company that's sending freight, and every single manufacturer, every single customer, every single company, no matter what you buy, diesel fuel, if you buy candy bars, you buy whatever, whatever commodity they have inside the element that you're buying, if you buy it, you buy an iPass, plastic, then it's got these little strips on it, it's got a little paper thing on it, it's got electronics inside, so that's probably 6 or 7 truckloads for that one part. You know what I mean? Because you got all these different parts. So if each of the 6 items it took to make that rode by truck, and they increase all 6 of those parts, how much is that iPass going to be? Think about that. Go, Joe, go. So for you people who voted for Joe Biden, you did well. I just hope that your savings is going to do it, because everything is getting high. The price of lumber, price of gas, price of food. They're talking about shortages this summer for food. We already seen gas, because Go Joe Go, he cut off that pipeline to Canada where we were getting to be independent of fuel, and now it's going back to where we have to have that fuel from overseas. Go Joe Go. So for all you people that voted for Biden, good job. See you at the poorhouse. I'll see you guys later. Well,